Hi, this is Heavy Riffs. I am your host with the most. Circumstance Justin is here. Just kidding, I'm not really that. I don't talk like that all the time. Only when I do a podcast. I think we need to meditate, bum. I think you're right, man.
Can you walk me through a meditation?
You sound so nice right now. You really do.
Nice and velvety.
Velvety, your mustache is just caressing the fuck out of that microphone. And it's just like dusting it off a little bit. And you just like got this little smirk on your face now. Like you're so excited to be here. And then in reality, like we're not stoked to be here because like it's snowing outside and we, faced near-death experiences just to get here. But you know what? We're here.
Is this a compliment cast?
Yeah, I'm trying to be like the nicest boy today. I know I'm bummed, but I'm trying to be nice. You know what I mean? Like I'm never nice. I'm always a mean, like just a meanie. I'm a meanie boy.
I don't know you to be mean.
I'm usually just kind of not nice.
I don't know you to be not nice.
In my eyes, I'm kind of like I'm not only a dingus, but like I can be like a dick. I pissed off Kara before I got here, man. So like,
classic relationship problems. I mean, it's all good.
It's just the way she goes sometimes, my boy. It's just like, why not?
Fucking way she goes. It's just the fucking way she goes, bub.
It's just the way she goes. Just like this, like, you know what's tight? Smoking old joints. Like, I don't know how long I found this.
Here?
Oh, yeah. No idea. And this might have been from the last cast, but it's a little dry. It's got a little weird taste at the end. Is this weed?
I don't know. It could be, it could be a Jeffrey.
I hope it's weed, man. I'll never find out. Jesus Christ.
It could be a Jeffrey.
Well, if I start petting the Heavy Riff sign, it's probably not going to be feeling that great. It's just, what is that called? Coro board?
Coro board, yeah.
So, yeah, man. So, yeah, I've just been trying to compliment you, and you threw me off, man, because you asked me if this was compliments. This is not me being, like, I'm not trying to be, like, I don't know what I'm trying to be, man. This is weed. This is for sure weed. Okay. I'm stoned already.
So quick.
Yeah. Well, I'm a lightweight boy.
Isn't that that's why weed is tight, because, like, as soon as you ingest it, immediately you're like, oh,
weed is tight. Like, it's never not tight.
Unless it's like a creeper.
So, you know what's funny about that? Like, when I was younger, I had, like, we always had that. It was like, remember when you smoke with your boys, like, when you're in high school? Like, oh, be careful, it's a creeper. And you're like, yeah, whatever, man. And then it did, like, creep up on you. I haven't smoked weed like that in a minute, and it's probably because everything's so chemically, like, or, like, I don't know. Weed is so pure now. Like, back in the day, you bought weed, it had stems and seeds in it. And, like, you bought an eighth, there might have been an actual gram to smoke because it's just fucking shitty weed, came in a brick, you broke it out, and it was never fluffy. It just disintegrated as soon as you touched it.
Yeah.
And then it's just seeds everywhere, and you're like, you're smoking a bowl of that bullshit. I can't believe I smoke bowls of that shit. Because you would just hear the pops from the seeds that you didn't get out, and you're just like, fuck it, man, and we'll just roll with it.
You'd be getting hit by them and shit.
Yeah, and they're like popcorn.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jesus Christ, it's hot. Right. It's like a little BB, man, but it's a weed BB. But now, like, I smoke, and like I remember that feeling as a kid, being like, oh, it's a creeper, and they would creep up on you, and be like, God bless, man, I'm fucking ripped. But now it's just like, rate 0 to 60, like a Tesla. 2 seconds, you can feel it, and you're like, God bless it. I guess it's just the genetics have changed. Is that how they do it?
I'm not a weed scientist, but I think...
You're the closest one I got, dude.
I think I'm not even going to try to pretend like I know about growing weed. We should have, like, a weed expert on to talk about it.
Weed is tight. Yeah, we need a weedian.
We need a weedian.
A weedian. I think that's what they're called. Or cannabis. Like bisexual cannabis growers.
The weedians are the characters from the Sleep records.
That's how much of a dangus I had no idea.
Yeah.
I'm a noob with that shit. Like, I mean, I like Sleep is Tight. Like, I've listened to him. Like, I didn't start there, which is the wrong thing to do.
No, man, I didn't. I'm pretty sure I've talked about it before, but when we played our very first show, Henry and I, my buddy Andy came up and he was like, "You need to get into stoner rock," and I hadn't heard of any of the. I just knew Black Sabbath, but
yeah.
And then that's when Gip and I ate mushrooms and drove around and listened to Electric Wizard, and we were like, "Holy shit!
That's tight.
I see the light."
That's tight.
And then we started making fucking records.
Ever since.
Yeah.
Dude, isn't it crazy how that works out? Like eating mushrooms and then all of a sudden you're just doing shit tight. That's cool.
Yeah.
With your boys. Nothing better. But dude, it's crazy to think about, like, just like the journey of music that I've taken. Like, just with stuff like, like when I was younger, I listened to punk rock a lot. And of course, like, I would, like, when I was in like 8th grade, I thought Blink-182 was punk rock. You know what I mean? I didn't know any better. And they said they were. So I was like, oh yeah, punk rock rips. And then, of course, the boys that are actually into punk rock music, like fucking, I don't know, like hardcore, like Black Flag and like all those bands and all that shit like that. And then you're just like, they're like, that's not punk. And I was like, whatever, man. Like,
but why isn't it? Like,
right.
What does that even mean?
I don't know. And that's what I'm saying. That's when I got like, that's when like I started to hang out with like those music nerd people, like the kids that were like into music. And like I started getting fed up with those kids because they're always like putting labels on everyone's music. And I'm like, they're not punk, they're like proto-punk. They're and you're like, what they're post-punk rock.
What does that mean?
Yeah, like what do you mean? Is it already over? Like there's no one else is allowed to create better music?
You know what it is? Those like back in the day kids that say that shit, and I'm sure it still happens nowadays, they don't play music. That's what it is.
Yeah.
They're music enjoyers, they're music listeners, so they have to categorize it somehow in their brain for it to make sense to them. And you're just like, just shut the fuck up and listen to it.
Yeah.
Just let it be what it is.
Yeah. It rips. And then those, you're right. You know what? That's absolutely right.
It's just what it is.
That's most of the kids that they never played music. And I was like playing drums and like, or I was in bands growing up, just playing music and
just trying to
kids,
learn,
just trying to be like, I'm just gonna like, I'm not gonna play punk rock music. I'm not gonna play stoner rock. I'm just gonna play the drums. Mm-hmm. Whatever the fuck I do is what I do.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's the way you started playing guitar. You're like, I want to be a rock and roll, classic rock. Of course,
I wanted
that's what
to be.
Everyone plays when they first start.
I wanted it to be Jack White.
Yeah,
that's what I want when I was like 13.
That's tight. I did. See, that's something that's. It's funny because like when I was younger, I was into like the popular music, the stuff you heard on the radio, really, because that's all I had access to. I was the oldest. Like I didn't have like an older brother, or like growing up, I was the oldest, so I had to find everything. You know what I mean? And same to you. You didn't have like older brothers, but you had older cousins that showed you their ways and stuff like that, or like just your parents' influence and all that stuff. But like for me. Like I just whatever I liked on the radio, like I liked Nirvana. I heard that when I was a kid, and I was like, that's so fucking tight. And then I heard other music that led into all kinds of music, but I didn't really get into like music until I was like probably like 8th grade. Like is when I started playing the drums, and then like in high school is when I started finding out about like the different genres of music and like the more like. I don't know, like the indie side of stuff, the stuff you didn't hear on the radio.
The independent.
Yeah. And
music.
so, like, I didn't know. And then, because we didn't have Spotify back then, we had, like, word of mouth. Like
Napster.
Yeah. You think you downloaded a Beastie Boys song, but it was really fucking Sum 41, Fat Lip.
It was just,
you know what I mean?
Some sort of, like, Chinese-made computer virus that just stole all your dad's money. And he's like, boy,
stop looking at porn again. I'm not, Dad. That's you, man. But yeah, no, it's crazy to think about. Like, I don't know, man. Like, the musical journey's been wild, and I just get bummed.
What was the first show you ever played?
The first show I played music? Oh, man. Oh, the Strawberry Festival at Cape St. Clair.
Really?
Was the first time I ever played music in
Hell
2000. Yeah. I want to say 2000, like, maybe it might have been 2002, 2001.
What? Really?
It was the first time I played music in front of a lot of people. I was 14 years old.
You were 14 in 2001?
It was something. I was It was when we first started playing. So I was in 8th grade, maybe 13.
Was it post 9/11 or
I don't remember.
pre 9/11?
I think it might have been pre.
Wow.
Yeah,
dude, you're old.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, no, I know.
That's actually crazy.
I'm gonna be 34 next month, man, which is crazy.
Old, dude.
I'm not old. I'm not young either. I'm seasoned. I'm aged.
I don't even consider my parents old, and they're 62.
That's not that old.
No.
Old now is like
I don't even consider I do, but like my grandma's old. She's 88. Like she just had to move out of her house, dude.
Oh, really?
Sidebar, bought that house.
Whole bar, very chill.
Yeah,
cool. It lives.
Yeah.
In infamy, we should probably like go there and like drink red wine.
We're gonna get butt naked and have a fire outside of that house.
We gotta break it in. You're right.
Yeah, we
absolutely have to break it in the house and drink red wine.
Grandma's already moved into like an old folks home.
Oh, nice.
And
so you guys went there to like claim some furniture and whatnot.
Yeah, furniture, artwork, and shit that I wanted. And, like Lorenza got a bunch of little knickknacks. She got all these little teeny frog. Fucking kitchen wares and shit.
Tight,
It is pretty tight. Shouts to the Frog Kings.
Frogs rip.
And yeah, they do.
Yeah, they rip it too.
Dude, I'm part of a frog posting group on Facebook. It's fucking tight.
Dude, it's fucking same song. Very cool. That's really good to hear.
So back from the sidebar.
Yeah.
Where were we?
We were talking about, I don't remember, man. Fuck, we need a third boy. I mean, we're talking about music. And then talk about the first show.
So pre 9/11.
So yeah, it was like pre 9/11, and I was young, dude. Like it was definitely in like 2000. Actually, it was like around that time
at the Strawberry Festival.
Yeah.
What band was it?
It was
high school band.
It was just me. No, it was I formed a band with my friends.
Oh, not like school related.
No, it was like rock and roll. So my buddy Justin Allenball, was like. Like I had a sleepover one night for my birthday. It was like I think it was my 13th birthday because that's when I remember doing the drum, like when I got the drums and all that shit. So I think it was like when I first turned 13, or no, whatever. It doesn't matter. So we like were listening to music and hanging out, and I was like, I want to play the drums, and he's like, well, my dad plays guitar, and he's like, my dad can teach me how to play guitar because his dad played in like bar bands growing up, and his dad was tight. Like he like just showed us basically how to play music. And so, like, we were just messing around talking about it, and then, like, Justin went to his dad and was like, I want to play the guitar. And, like, that Christmas, like, he got a guitar, and I got a drum set. So I was like, very tight. So I was like, and then we had a show. Like, so we started playing music together. His dad would come over, and, like, his dad, like, taught us, like, how to play. Like, his dad taught him, like, smoke on the water. Yeah. Like, all that dumb shit. But, like, the fundamentals of rock and roll, basically. Playing guitar. So, like, he would, like, play the guitar, and then I'd be like, all right, I gotta learn how to play these fucking things. Like, because I would just fucking just hit shit. I mean, I still do just hit shit. But, like, I'm just learning how to play. So, his dad played drums growing up, too. So, his dad would be like, okay, so this is a backbeat. So, he's like, doom-ka-ka, doom-ka, doom-ka-ta, doom-ka. And I'm like... And he's showing me, so like I was a visual learner, so I was learning from him playing, and then he would and then I would just do that beat simple, and then he would show Justin on his guitar, like he would play with us, and he would just slowly play, and we would literally just play music like that, and like we were so young, and I was just like, this is so tight, and like he was like playing in shows, and then like as soon as we started getting serious, like my brother Joel started playing bass with us,
tight.
So we just started like a group, and it was in my parents' basement.
Like the Partridge Family boys.
Yeah, so we were just bringing in the family, bringing my boy over, and we would try to be like Blink-182. We were a trio. So we would try to learn like those songs. We try to learn all those like classic rock songs. So we came up with about I think 4 or 5 songs that we learned, quote unquote learned. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We could fumble through them, and then like his dad was playing, like his band was playing at the Strawberry Festival in Cape St. Clair. Like they had like an outdoor stage and everything. It was literally like a trailer. They were playing like on a flatbed trailer with the little speakers and the drum set and like microphones, the whole nine. I was like, this is tight. And then like his dad was just like, okay, we're going to take a break, but my son's band's going to play. And I didn't really know that we were actually going to play. I thought he was like, we were kids. So I was like, yeah, okay. And his dad was like, come on up, play. And I was like, I sat behind a drum set that was way too big for me. And I'm sitting there, I'm looking around, like, this is crazy. And there's, you know, I mean, you've been in there's a lot of people, but, like, they're not watching the music necessarily.
Yeah.
They're just kind of all around.
They're
like,
there to eat jams.
Yeah, jams and, like, cheeses and
berries.
Alizarin crimson and shit like that. Lemonades and dads are getting fucking wasted at the beer garden.
Yeah.
And so we fumbled through Sweet Home Alabama and all the small things.
So you're like, have you seen that video of the old dad rock band playing Sweet Home Alabama?
Yeah, there's dances.
Yeah.
Like, everyone's playing a different song, basically. Yeah, it could have been us.
Yeah,
For me...
But it was cute because you guys were like 13. Those guys were like fully grown, invested
we're like learning.
guys.
Yeah, they're like old dudes, old dads, like trying to be like, we're going to fucking make it.
Just boomering it up.
Yeah, we're going to make it.
Yeah. This is it, boys. If this isn't it.
Yeah, but that was the first show, and it was cool. Like I said, we fumbled through 2 songs while they did their little set break, and people clapped.
Tight.
So I'm assuming we did okay.
Yeah.
And it was so crazy because like I could feel like the stage and like the rumble from like the monitors and like the bass rig and all that stuff, and I was like, this is what I want to do.
You're like, I'm really doing it, boys.
I was like, I should have retired then.
Yeah, I made it.
So then we got done and like we're like walking around the festival being like, what's up? Like, yeah, you know, we're big stars.
I got a pen, dude.
Sorry,
you need an autograph, dude.
Sorry, my dad was working the event. My dad was pouring beer.
Tight. Classic.
It was tight. So we hung out at the beer garden and just sat there with my dad, and I was just like trying to like feel out the Cougars.
Was he like, son, you've earned this, and like gives you a frothy Miller Lite?
Yeah, just all foam, and he's like, actually, now the beer's like, this is just like, I don't know, someone left this somewhere. Here, try it. I'm like, no, but like it was cool, and like nobody talked to us about playing. Like we had our friend was there, he saw us play, and he waited till we went back to school to be like, hey, I saw you guys play on the show one time. I was like, tight, man. After that, like, because it was like summertime. I think was it summertime? I think it was.
I wasn't there, but
I think they held it in the summer, like July.
Oh, you're just asking.
So like, I think it was summertime. So like, yeah, it was like a couple months later. So we had actually played a couple extra shows. So I was like, yeah, dude, it's nothing. Like, I thought it was tight. You know what I mean? I just thought it was cool. But yeah, that was my first experience playing a show. How about you?
It was 50 caliber comeback.
Tight.
It was at a venue called the Black Hole.
Tight.
And it was sketchy as fuck. It was back. You could still smoke inside. I think it was in Arbutus, so it was pretty close to where we are now.
Mid 2000s was like that.
Yeah, you could definitely still smoke
2000s.
inside. And years later, this place ended up being it got shut down for like drug trafficking and shit. It ended up being like during the whole dubstep rave thing in like 2009 to whatever, that it was like a rave haven,
spot,
basically.
Okay, gotcha.
But when we played it, we got there. 50 caliber comeback, which is a hardcore band I was in when I was a kid.
Yep, I remember those guys.
And my aunt and uncle came, and my mom and dad came before they went out to like a fancy dinner that night. So they were all dressed to the nines and shit. And my dad, I remember, like pulled me aside and he was like, "Bud, what the fuck is this place?" And I was like, "I don't know." I was young, dude.
Yeah, you're like, it's cool, right? There's no lights.
Yeah, I was like young, man. And we opened for another band from my high school, Revolta, which they were like the kings.
Yeah, they were like the rad days.
They were like fucking the heaviest thing I'd ever heard. Like their biggest influences were like Sepultura and shit like that, like real thrash. And so I'm trying to remember what happened, man. It was so long ago, but I just remember like that we were on a stage, and it was a tall ass stage, so that was tight. There was a bunch of big hot, like those hot lights.
Yeah, old school big lights.
And I was like, I remember sweating and I couldn't see anything.
Yeah.
But we were like ripping through our set, and I was just like, this is fucking cool. I hit our bass player Joey in the head with my guitar on complete accident. Like, didn't mean to.
I thought you were like, I totally did it on purpose.
Oh, dude, I was just feeling it. So I was like, fuck yeah.
Kill my boy.
No, but there's a video of it, and it's gone.
Yeah,
it's
crazy.
Now I wish I'd be able to see it, but we watched that shit on loop so many times because I just turned around, but I was just like whap. I think that was like the first show we played at a venue, but the first live performance I ever did with a band was still for the Caliber Comeback, but it was for the tryouts for like a school talent show. Yeah. And we performed just in front of the guitar teacher, Mr. T at Broadneck. Shouts out Mr. T. And The Honest Life, which is Tom and Gip that play with me, and then Joey and our boy Steve and Miles, like all my boys. So they were the audience, and they played to try out for the talent show, and they did not have their shit together at this time at all. And it was like pretty abysmal. Yeah. God bless. I think Tom had just started playing drums because he was the only one, and he still ripped back then. Yeah. But he was the only one that could play drums, and but we got up and we played, and I just remember getting off the stage, and those boys were like, "Dude, that was fucking sick." That was heavy. Because I was in a band with like Justin Rhines, who at the time
was at the Shredder,
was just like he taught me everything I know about rhythm guitar. Yeah. Colin Cooper was like fucking monster on the drums. And then it was just Joey and Chris Kyle and I that were like the weak links in the band, but just still kind of like we're able to hide behind Colin and Justin. Yeah. So like it was still tight. That's when I learned that you just turn the gain all the way up and just hit a couple power chords and you're good to go.
That's it. But just fill the space.
yeah, exactly. But I think, and then I might have it back because this is a high school band, right?
Yeah.
So there was that talent show tryout, this black hole show with old dudes smoking cigs, parents being like, what the fuck? And then there was a show that we played in the cafeteria at Broadneck. I forget what it was called, but I remember setting up flyers for this show. Yeah. And it was like a school-sanctioned event.
But we're a similar thing, too.
But we're putting flyers up all around the school, and there was this new principal, this bitch, dude. I can't remember her name, but she was like young. And, you know, like any young person in a school with power over like younger people is just the worst. And she came up to me and she was like, "Do you have permission to be putting these flyers up on like lockers?" And I was like, "It's in the cafeteria. I didn't know I needed to get this pre-approved." But there's been like, my band's name's 50 Caliber Comeback, and like, you know, so
that's good. School shootings.
Yeah, exactly. And she was like, not tight. So they somehow, like, we still played the show. And it was us, The Honest Life, Revolta played, and they had graduated at this time. I think they like came back just to play the show, so they weren't like technically allowed to be there.
Yeah.
I don't know how we were able to pull this show off. My boy Kevin broke his arm. My boy John got a bloody fucking nose because the pit was so fucking dude, it was like a classic hardcore show in the cafeteria of our high school.
That's tight.
And I remember we were second to last to go on, and then The Honest Life went on after us. And at this point, they were fucking really good. Yeah. Like, they'd honed their chops and they'd been to legit studios. We were just still in basements and shit.
Yeah.
And right before we finished our set, we did a cover of Bury Your Fucking Dead by Bury Your Dead. Like, just ring out that open, bury your fucking dead. Bury your. And we Justin looked at me and he was like, "We're doing it." And I was like, "Fuck yeah." So we just go into Bury Your Dead, and the place is going nuts with like 16-year-old kids and us, and we're just like, this is fucking insane. And Mr. T shut the power down to all of it. So at one point, it was just pitch black. Because we were not only going over our set, but also just having a bunch of kids chant "Bury Your Fucking Dead," crawling on top of each other like you would at like a turnstile show.
Yeah.
And all that you could hear, like the emergency lights were on, and all you could hear was Colin still playing his drums, and just like. There was probably like it might be the biggest show I've ever played. There had to be like our whole class, like every kid that fucked with music in high school from every grade was there.
Yeah.
So there had to be like 200 kids just screaming, chanting, "Bury your fucking dead." So and I just remember looking out and I was just like, this is it, dude. Yeah. Like this is fucking tight.
That's so sick, dude.
So those were my like first 3 shows.
Well, you guys actually played real shows. Like, I was learning how to play. Like when I played, like, you guys were ripping it up.
Yeah.
We were just fucking... I was just learning how to play music. And it was tight, because I'd learned how to play music, like, so young live. Like, that was so tight.
Well, I was learning, too, and which is, like, a really good way to learn how to play.
Play in front of people.
Just throw it to the fucking gauntlet, you know?
throw them to the wolves, man.
Yeah.
Sink or swim,
Yeah.
dude. It's so fucking tight. Like, and now thinking back about this, I'm like, damn, dude, that's really cool. I had that opportunity at that age.
Absolutely.
And just like, you know what I mean? Like, you're just like, what the fuck, man? Like,
no one can
and
take that
back
from
then
you.
it was different too. Like, back then, you know, people wanted to be in bands and play music, and like, it was like a thing to do. Like, I remember, like, growing up, we had like tight shit. We can go to Woods,
Yeah.
like, which was that little church, and you know, like, if no one, most of the people that listen to this probably know what it is, but other people that don't know, it was just on a Friday night. It was like held by like older teenager dudes. Yeah. And they would just like put on shows, and we would just have like local bands play that like
was
ripped.
the best.
Dude. It was cool every Friday night, and like it was funny because like either you went to like the Elks Club dance, you know, on Friday night if you were like into like doing this,
yeah, like,
or if you were
Boys.
like tight and you were into music and then you wanted to like watch people smoke weed in the parking
support the
lot,
scene,
and then literally show up and see like live music, and it was like all the cool bands back in the day, like, and there was like and then you just see your buddies like ripping, and you're just like, where the fuck, dude, we were in math class and you can just like and you're just like, why are you so good at this? Like, I had no idea. And so I met so many people through that, and it was like some of the most lifelong friends I've ever had. Mm-hmm. And it's like, dude, I wouldn't give it to anything. And then, like, when they shut Woods down, because of course, lo and behold, everyone thought it was a good idea to sell drugs there.
Well, this girl that I dated at the time that got like alcohol poisoning, like, because you're a bunch of kids that basically have no. Adult over
there was no parents. Yeah, there was no chaperones.
That's the word. Chaperone. There was no fucking chaperones.
No, there wasn't.
It was just pure anarchy to hardcore music and metal. Because that was like when emo music, which I know there's big festivals coming back through. When we were young or something. That was the time period. So like all those bands were big on MySpace at the time. So then all the local bands
were trying to be
like them, and all the kids dressed like that. Yeah. So it was literally a scene.
Yeah.
And it was just a bunch of little scene kids, and you were either fucking straight edge, or you were getting fucked up, or you were just like claimed straight edge, and then would get way too fucked up.
Yeah. That was me.
Same.
I was like, I'm fucking straight edge, and then I'd be like smoking weed, and
like hiding from your straight edge buddies.
Like, yeah, it's cool, right? Like, dude. And then come back and be like, dude, why is everyone like smoking weed, man, without me?
You're like, 'cause weed is tight.
Yeah, like, dude, I'm sorry, man, I fucked up. But,
good times, man. I fucking.
Dude, it's crazy to think about that shit. I miss that shit.
Because
I know some of those crazy memories. I wish you know how you document everything, like we're documenting shit all the time now. I wish I knew back then, because I'll never know what it would be like. Like, because some of the shows that I saw there, like just local bands, I was like, it was like some of the best shows I've ever seen.
Dude, I envy you. Those guys were fucking insane.
They fucking were so cool.
They were supposed to be like a thing.
Yeah, I know. They ripped.
They
were heavy, and they just like, and they were all really good at their instrument. Like, it was like a real band.
It was a real band.
And you see all that kind of, and the name too, because it was INVU, and I was like, dude, and that's when like clever names, like dude, whoever thought of that, brilliant man.
I know.
Or brilliant person, I should say. But it was sick. And then you see all those bands growing up, and then some of them like went on and did some like pretty good things. I mean, before us, I mean, like Good Charlotte played there, and was All Time Low played there too. Like when they were all starting, like it's just like the spot where you started. It was like our CBGB.
It was like it was a suburban CBGB.
It was.
And then not only that, but fast forward 15 years, then that's basically what the Metropolitan became, and now that went about the same way as Woods went.
Yeah, people it just like moved on. The scene moved on, and just like it just wasn't like that anymore. But I remember everybody
COVID.
I knew, I was like, but even before COVID,
that it went down.
Like when electronic music was really a thing, like a lot of people weren't playing music live like that, and it just wasn't like the same. Like seriously, like 2009, 2010, like the music scenes, all that kind of shit, just kind of like,
I think
there was no like real scene. To me, it wasn't a scene for me, like out there.
Yeah, but it's like a combination of just technology moving super fast. So now, home production, anybody can start making music.
True.
You don't even have to be musical, whatever that means. Like you can literally program computers to make fucking sounds.
Do you think also? Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but I just have a thought that with the streaming service available now, like Spotify and all that kind of shit, whatever. Do you think that kind of killed the scene too? Because like we didn't have that kind of stuff to find new music all the time. Like you said, we had like Napster and LimeWire and all that dumb shit.
Yeah, but that was to download
like
major label artists.
Yeah. And then people, like, once, Spotify and all that kind of stuff came out, like, you didn't have to leave your living room to find new music. It just does it for you. So it's like, it kind of took the fun out of, like, going to a random show or going to see, like, because every Friday night, like, it wouldn't always be, like, scenester music. I mean, 90% of it was, but then you would have, like, random, like, jammy bands and, like, just like different types of music bands, and you would just be like, oh, I never thought I would like that kind of music, and then get into it.
I don't know. There might still be. I mean, it could also just be we're older.
True.
Like, I don't know.
I guess that's
It'd
true.
be weird if there was like a scene going on somewhere around us, and it was a bunch of high school kids, and we went and hung out with them.
You're gonna do good, and we're like drinking beers in the parking lot. No, just NAs, just NAs,
just Budweiser
talking
Zeros.
about the glory days.
Just sucking
just
down.
Be like, y'all don't know how to do it. Why? Hey, are you guys smoking dope? Like, are you smoking out of a can? Why are you smoking fucking vapes, dude? Just get a can, dude. Go get a Coke. Come over here. Let's poke some holes in it. And you're just like, and these kids are like, dude, get away from me.
Like, let me show you something, man.
I'm gonna show you a little something, and then they pull out something new, like this gadget, and you're just like, let me hit it, and then you look like a dickhead because you're just like, you're like, this is real shit. Because those kids are smoking spice, dude, without us.
I don't even
I'm just
know,
kidding,
man.
but it's crazy, man. I
think
think I might be onto something though with that.
with the Spotify, that's very possible.
I think it was like because you didn't have to go searching for music like that. I mean, and also like
you did have to go searching for music.
But on Spotify, like with the algorithm, it like literally tells you what you're gonna like.
Exactly, because what we had was MySpace, right?
Right.
But you had to know, like, there wasn't an algorithm that suggested something to you. Like, your boy would discover Bring Me the Horizon and be like, yo, you got to check this band out. You'd check them out on MySpace. You'd put them in your top 8 for some reason. Just to let everyone know that you liked that band.
I don't like Friends. I like bands.
Yeah.
You should have a top 8 favorite bands all time. Motionless in White. Like all those dumbass bands like back in the day. And like, and then you're like
oh, dude. I
program the HTML bullshit.
Yeah, that was tight. It probably taught a lot of people some code. But doubling back to that When We Were Young festival, someone, you've seen all the memes. People are making it say, like,
it's
just
Fire
funny
Festival
shit.
2.0.
Yeah, but someone made one that was because they were young, and it was just a bunch of bands that have been like
Me Too.
Yeah, 100%. Not even Me Too, just literally filled with sexual predators and shit.
Oh yeah, okay.
And
proven facts.
The headliner was Lost Prophets, which, dude,
oh my god, that guy's the devil.
Lorenzo didn't know, and I was like, oh, he literally. I don't even know if I can say this on YouTube, but
he did.
He fucked babies.
Yeah,
like he fucked babies, dude. Like heinous. So I posted that because I thought I was like, oof. And
that's so fucking
dude, my buddy Eric, shouts out to him on his brain, but he just didn't get the joke and reposted it, and it was like repost from Brother Hayes. Like, I would go to this if this was legit, and I hit him, and I was like, hey man, the joke is that all those bands are sexual assaultists.
Yeah,
and he was like, oh fuck, deleting that real quick.
Well, that's good looking out for you because you could have just let them be people like, yeah, we should probably put them on a list. And he's like, dude, no one invites me anywhere anymore. Like,
I'm like, I don't want to go.
I can't. Like, my brother doesn't let me see the kids anymore. It's crazy, man. No, that's crazy. Yeah, I saw that and I thought it was funny. At first, I was like, that can't be real because like Lost Prophets dude is like in prison.
Well, I don't think a lot of people got it because someone commented and was like,
but not everyone knows.
I know, and that's I started sending mad, and it just takes a quick fucking Google search. Actually, you can just type in any of those names with the word the letter S after it, and Google auto fills it to sexual predator, and you just click on the Google search, and the first article comes up. All those bands,
all the allegations.
Well, a bunch of people, they were like, "Well, that dude from Lost Prophets is still in jail." I was like, for good reason. Yeah. And they were like, "Oh, A Day to Remember doesn't deserve that," and I was like, "Not the whole band, but the bass player was a fucking pedophile." Yeah. Like, I'm not protecting bands that I used to like because I used to like them anymore. You know what I mean? Like I've gotten to the point mentally where I'm just like, nah, fuck that, dude. I don't need to listen to that shit anymore. Make my own shit.
Yeah, make your own Jones. That's the best part about it. Fucking make your own shit.
That's what I
DIY, dude. Punk rock,
I make all this content because I like to enjoy it.
Me too, man.
I'm literally like, I don't watch anything anymore. I just like rewatch our shit.
I've been so since you told me that you've been doing it, I've been rewatching a couple, and I'm like, some of these were like actually good.
Yeah. Well, hopefully by the time this is out, everything's on Spotify and Apple Podcasts.
Yeah, I'm hoping that's tight.
You know, there's a big chasm missing on Spotify now since Neil Young pulled all of his music, so we got to fill that void.
Yeah, we're gonna talk like Neil Young from now on and just. Yeah.
So I did some deep dive into why Neil Young is so adamant about it. His life was almost cut short as a baby from polio, and a polio vaccine saved his life. He had polio when he was 3 and was like sick and dying, and he was like a test subject for a polio vaccine, and he's obviously still around today.
I'm sure Leonard Skinner's pissed that they didn't make it.
Yeah,
remember they had like a feud?
They flew too close to the sun, man.
I can't read good. Like I'm fucking
Leonard Skinner's also like, I mean, obviously shots at Leonard Skinner, but they were not from Alabama.
No,
they were
like
from Florida,
Jacksonville, or something like that.
And the whole
or the Panhandle,
the whole Southern thing was a marketing ploy from their manager. Like the whole rebel flag or Confederate flag or whatever. That whole thing was like it was just a marketing ploy. So they were fucking posers, to be honest with you.
Damn.
Sorry to ruin the.
Damn, dude.
mythos.
Oh, shit. Yeah, what are you supposed to say? Spoiler alert. Oh, you got to edit that before you said that.
Yeah.
So, we're not going to remember to do that.
No, real quick, the whole Joe Rogan, Neil Young Spotify thing that people, it has the internet ablaze.
Yeah.
And people are like, of course, everything has to be so just like, no, he's right. No. Dude, all Neil Young did was just ask a company, a music aggregator service, to remove his music, and they complied. It's not like Spotify didn't pick any sides. Neil Young, he was just like, hey, I don't want my music on this platform. Please remove it, which really isn't his choice to make because he sold it to Reprise Record, or he sold the masters to Warner Brothers or whatever.
Wherever the record label.
The subsidiary is, whatever. And, you know, he probably made $300,000 a year from streams, which to us would be fucking tremendous. But to Neil Young, it's like a fucking...
It's shot in the dark, whatever.
He said that...
It's kind of crazy that he had that power to do that, though. Like you said, if they own the money. Like, if they own the masters and all.
Yeah, and I think because he's still active, that they were like... And once he dies, they'll probably just fucking put it back.
The record label's going to put it right back up.
100%, you know. He's got, like, brain cancer.
Because that's what happened with Prince, too. Prince wasn't on, like, Spotify or anything like that. I think he might be on YouTube. He wasn't even on YouTube either.
His shit wasn't anywhere, and then he died, and they just put it everywhere.
Everything was on everywhere. And I was like...
they turned his house into a museum.
Because Neil Young was the same way. Like, he wasn't on there for a long time. He just was on one day.
Yeah.
But, yeah, sorry.
For what?
I cut you off again. I keep doing that.
You're good.
But, yeah. So, he just... Like, there's a whole uproar because they're, like, talking about... And he's passionate. He was passionate about the vaccine because it like saved
he had
his
polio
life.
as a kid and it saved his life. So he was just like, I don't want to be on the same platform as someone that is spreading vaccine misinformation.
Yeah.
So I don't.
That's one thing about Joe Rogan. He's been fucking off the walls ever since he got paid.
Dude, yeah, he's like a lost cause. Well, he's created an echo chamber around himself. He used to have really interesting guests on. And then he just started surrounding himself with people that would just feed into his beliefs.
Right.
Because that's not how his show used to be. It used to be very interesting.
Yeah.
And he used to just ask questions. And if he was wrong, he'd be like, oh, whoa. But now he like doubles down on shit that he's wrong about.
Yeah.
And it's just fucking almost, it's unwatchable in my opinion. But fuck Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah.
I really don't. Shout out to us for being on Spotify. We're going to kick a jam.
Yeah. Good night. I like saying good night, man.
I know. It's cute.
I just want people to know that it's nice to go to bed sometimes. I hope people watch this before they go to bed and like they just get pissed off. Like I just wasted like an hour and a half and I gotta go to bed. No, I'm just kidding. No, I hope everyone enjoys this. I love the fact that people watch this shit. It's so cool.
I didn't have shit to say. I was like the little wizard man with his little lizard friend.